One morning, Miffy felt very excited. Grandma and Grandpa Bunny were coming to visit, and that always meant something exciting. Grandpa was carrying a large parcel. Mother and Father welcomed Miffy's grandparents. Hello, Grandma. Hello, Grandpa. I'm so happy to see you. We're happy to see you too, said Grandma Bunny. We've brought something we think you will like, Miffy, said Grandpa. It's something I made in my own workshop, especially for you. Oh, what is it? Asked Miffy. I can hardly wait to see it. Miffy carefully unwrapped the parcel. It was a perfect, brightly painted wooden scooter. How wonderful, said Miffy. It even has a little basket on it. I can carry my teddy bear in the little basket. Thank you. This is a wonderful gift, Grandpa. Miffy wanted to try her scooter straight away. Let's go to the playground, and you can ride your scooter, Miffy, said Father Bunny. I'll come with you. Soon Miffy was scooting along with her little teddy bear in the basket. Father Bunny had to run fast to keep up with her. I hope you are enjoying the ride, Teddy, said Miffy. The little bear seemed to be nodding. Yes, I am, Miffy. Soon Miffy and her father came to the playground. Miffy's friend Melanie was playing there. Hello, Melanie, said Miffy. Hello. What a beautiful scooter, Miffy, said Melanie. My grandpa made it for me in his workshop, said Miffy. Would you like to try it? Oh, yes, Miffy, thank you, said Melanie. First, you must ask my teddy which way he wants to go. I think he would like to ride all around the playground. OK, said Melanie. I will ride him all around the playground and bring him safely back to you. Miffy watched as Melanie scooted away. She could hardly wait for her to return. She loved her new scooter. When Melanie returned, she said, "This is a wonderful scooter, Miffy. I will ask my daddy to make one for me too. Then we can go scooting together." "That will be great fun," said Miffy. Miffy felt very happy as she scooted home for tea. And Grandpa Bunny was very pleased that the scooter was such a great success. The next time that Miffy and her father were at the playground, Melanie arrived with a beautiful new scooter of her own. Her teddy bear had come along for a ride as well. Miffy and Melanie and their teddy bears had a wonderful afternoon. One day, Poppy Pig invited Miffy to her house for tea and biscuits. Miffy asked her mother if she could go. "Yes, of course you can go, Miffy," said Mother Bunny. "Be careful riding your scooter. It's cold outside and it might be slippery if it starts to snow." "I'll be careful, Mother," said Miffy. "And I'll be sure to bring some of Poppy's biscuits back for you." Miffy rode her scooter towards Poppy's house. She soon reached Poppy's house with no problem. Poppy had baked some delicious biscuits and made some tea. Miffy and Poppy had a lovely time together. Miffy forgot all about the time. Suddenly, the telephone rang. "Hello, it's your mother, Miffy," said Poppy. "She says you should start to head home because it looks like it will snow." "Oh dear," said Miffy. "I've had such a good time with you, Poppy, but I really must leave." Miffy put on her coat and her scarf. She was ready to say goodbye to Poppy when she remembered her promise to her mother. "Can I take some biscuits home to my mother, please?" she asked Poppy. "Of course." Poppy put some of the biscuits into a little bag and placed it in the basket on Miffy's scooter. "Do be careful riding home on your scooter, Miffy." When Miffy began to ride home, it started to snow. She scooted along as carefully as she could. In a short while, there was so much snow that it became quite slippery. And when she tried to ride down a little hill, boom! Miffy wasn't hurt, but she decided to walk with her scooter the rest of the way home. At home, Mother Bunny was beginning to worry. "I hope nothing has happened to Miffy," she thought. Then she saw Miffy. What a relief! She quickly opened the door. "Hello, Miffy," said her mother. "I'm glad to see that you walked home with your scooter." "I started to ride," said Miffy. "Then I skidded and fell off my scooter, so I decided to walk the rest of the way. I wasn't hurt at all. I've brought you some of Poppy's delicious biscuits." Miffy looked inside the bag. Where were the biscuits? "Oh dear," said Miffy. "When I fell down, all of the biscuits got broken. Now there's nothing in the bag but crumbs." Just then, Father Bunny came home. "Hello, everyone," he said. "There is lovely snow everywhere. It's a perfect time for a sledge ride." "Oh no," said Mother Bunny. "That's way too cold for me. I prefer my warm oven. I will bake a fresh batch of your favourite biscuits." They all laughed. Then, while Mother Bunny was busy in the kitchen, Miffy enjoyed a ride on her sledge. It was a lovely summer day, and Miffy asked her mother and father if her friend Grunty could stay with her overnight. "Yes," said her mother, "and it's warm enough for you both to sleep in the tent in the back garden." "Oh, that will be fun," said Miffy happily. Father Bunny said he would take her to Poppy Pig's house to collect her little niece Grunty. Off they went in Father Bunny's car to Poppy Pig's house. "Hello, Poppy," said Father Bunny. "Miffy would like to invite Grunty to stay with her tonight. You can pack her things and I will drive her to our house." Soon they were driving back to Miffy's house, and the two young girls were very excited about sleeping in a tent. When they arrived at Miffy's house, her mother had already set up the tent. "It will be such fun, Grunty," said Miffy. "I hope you're not afraid of the dark." "I won't be scared if you are with me, Miffy," said Grunty. The two little girls snuggled inside their sleeping bags, inside the dark tent. "What is that sound?" whispered Grunty. "I'm scared." "It's only the crickets," whispered Miffy. "They always chirp at night. You mustn't be afraid of them." "What is that?" whispered Grunty, who was really afraid. "That's just an owl who always sits in the tree at night," whispered Miffy. "You mustn't be afraid of her." Grunty was afraid, and she said, "Why don't we move the tent to Poppy's house tomorrow? I'm used to the sounds in her garden." The two little friends snuggled closer to each other and finally fell asleep. When the morning came, they woke up, and Mother Bunny brought them breakfast. "Did you sleep well?" Mother Bunny asked them. "Grunty was afraid of the sounds in our garden, Mother. Can we move the tent to Poppy's house tonight?" That evening, Father Bunny packed up the tent and drove the two girls to Poppy Pig's house. "Can we put the tent in your garden tonight?" Father Bunny asked. "Grunty feels she would be more comfortable sleeping in your garden. Miffy is a very brave little bunny, so I don't think she will be afraid." "Of course," said Poppy. Later that night, the two friends were tucked into their tent in Poppy's garden. Grunty was at home and fell asleep right away, but not Miffy. She heard noises. "Oh dear," whispered Miffy, who was scared. "Now I'm afraid. What is that sound? Wake up, Grunty. There's a strange noise I've never heard before." Grunty began to laugh. "That's just my Aunt Poppy snoring. I hear that all the time." Now both girls started to laugh. They laughed and laughed until they both fell asleep. Miffy's schoolteacher was a very nice bunny, and all the children loved her. When they found out that it would soon be her birthday, they began to think about what they could make for her. Miffy and her classmates talked about it in the playground. "Why don't we sew her a new dress?" suggested Aggie. "That would be too difficult," said Winnie. "We don't know her exact size." "How about a huge box of sweets?" "I love sweets," said Melanie. "I think she would like a big ice cream better," said Aggie. "Food is a good idea," said Miffy. "I think our teacher likes good food. Why don't we make a classroom restaurant for her?" "Yes," said Melanie. "Some of us can be the cooks and some of us can be the waiters." "What kind of food shall we make?" asked Winnie. "How about carrot soup?" asked Miffy. "My mother will help me to make carrot soup." Soon they all agreed on what each of them would do. Miffy and her mother were soon busy, chopping carrots and cooking them. They made a large pan of delicious carrot soup. The other bunnies were making waiters' aprons and cooks' hats. They decorated some dishes for the restaurant table. They wrote a restaurant menu and coloured it in. They wanted the teacher's desk to look like a real restaurant table. When the day of the teacher's birthday came, all the little bunnies were giggling and whispering together. Their teacher wondered what was happening in her classroom. Then, all the little bunnies began to sing. "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear teacher, happy birthday to you." The teacher was so surprised. How nice nice of you all to remember, she said. She was very happy. We have a special surprise for you, said Melanie. Yes, we are going to make a birthday restaurant dinner for you, right here in our classroom, said Miffy. So they put a beautiful tablecloth on the teacher's desk, and a candlestick, and a menu card. The decorated dishes, a glass for water, and a knife, a fork, and a spoon. Thank you, children, said their teacher. This is a beautiful and original restaurant, and I really like it. Then she looked lovingly at all her students. But she felt a little sad that all of her pupils were standing there to watch her eat. So she said, I think I would enjoy this even more if all you cooks and waiters joined in. Why don't you push all your desks together and then we can all sit down at the same table? I think there's enough of this lovely carrot soup for us all. The teacher got some bowls and spoons from the school kitchen, and she and all the little bunnies enjoyed the wonderful meal. There was enough delicious carrot soup for everyone. It was the grandest birthday party ever in their classroom. At Miffy's school, the children were learning about nature. Their teacher said, nature can be big things like trees and mountains. It can also be little things that you can find anywhere, even in your garden. Tomorrow, each of you must bring something from nature into our classroom. All the bunny children were excited, and they began whispering together, thinking about what they could find. When Miffy arrived home, Father Bunny was in the garden. Father, she said, our teacher wants each of us to bring something from nature to school. What do you think I should bring? Well, just look around you, Miffy. Right here in our garden there is nature all around us. Miffy looked, and she saw a bright red apple. She saw birds flying in the sky. She saw a little worm crawling out of the ground. She saw some beautiful stones. And of course, there were many flowers all around. She didn't know what she should choose. Her father said, in the morning, why don't you pick a nice red apple? After you show it to your class, you can eat it for lunch. Miffy thought that was a clever idea. In the morning, she went out into the garden, and just as she was about to pick the apple, a beautiful butterfly landed right on her arm. That's it, whispered Miffy. I'll bring this beautiful butterfly to my class. So she walked slowly and quietly towards her school, being very careful not to frighten the butterfly. Good morning, Snuffy, whispered Miffy. You can walk along beside me, but you must be very quiet. Snuffy wagged her tail happily. She gave a little bark. And the butterfly flew away. Miffy was very sad. Everyone else in the class had brought interesting things. Melanie had found an empty bird's nest. Winnie brought some bright, colourful leaves. Aggie had a beautiful stone. They each had something from nature. But Miffy had nothing. Then Snuffy, who was waiting outside the school door, gave another happy bark. And Miffy suddenly had an idea. She raised her hand. Please, miss, she said. I did bring something from nature, but I'm not sure I can bring her inside. Her? Asked the teacher. Do you have a friend outside? Yes, said Miffy. She's my good friend Snuffy. Isn't a dog a wonderful part of nature? All the other bunnies laughed, and so did the teacher. Yes, Miffy, she said. You are right. Snuffy is a lovely little dog, and she is certainly an important part of nature. Bring her in.
Snuffy, grunty, Boris Bear, Pop